medal at the World Championship, the World Junior, or the Under-18s in each of the last 2 seasons. That's the first time that's happened to them. Broken stick behind the net, causing trouble for Caden Price there. Carson Rakoff, Sawyer Minyo, Canada's 2 healthy scratches in this game as Gavin McKenna plays it ahead. That long shot steered away by Rimpinen. McKenna 2 goals in Canada's last tune-up game against the Czechs. McKenna chips it ahead. Brought back in for a chance for Catton. And Berkeley Catton turned away point blank. We got our first taste of the playmaking abilities and the skill of Gavin McKenna, the 17-year-old. Bumped into by Daniel Yeminen. And behind the goal is Arttu Tukala for the Finns. Long lead pass to center ice, went astray. Is flipped back in by Berkeley Catton. McKenna in on the forecheck. Moved ahead quickly by Nieminen. Play back to Gibson. Snaps that pass ahead. Chipped in by McKenna. Racing after his Catton, who comes in a hard forecheck on Nieminen. Berkeley back in front of the goalpost. Berkeley Catton. Pinelli tries to dig that free. Here's McKenna back in front. Quick chance for Pinelli. Rebound bounce back in front. Picked up by McKenna. Winds back in. That pass was blocked by Tukala. 5-1 the shots for Canada here in the early going. How are you? Injured last year for the Finns. An injury-plagued year for him last year. It was brought in by Kumpalainen. Rasmus Kumpalainen returning from last year. That's picked off and away comes McKenna. Gavin McKenna winds in. Has time, flips it back, gets it back and puts it through the crease. Bounce right back to him. And there's McKenna back on it. McKenna throws it towards the goal. That shot was blocked by Veli Väisänen. Move back down to the Canadian line. Price back to pick it up. Caden Price, a Seattle third rounder, plays for Kelowna in the Western League. There are 4 Saskatchewan products on this Canadian roster. Kumpalainen flips that ahead. And back to Zeki to pick it up. Back at the point, Jokinen. That shot was blocked. Hickey leaves it there for Bonk. Hickey and Bonk, 2 of the 14 Ontario. Matthew Schaefer plays it back for Gavin McKenna. A couple of full cages on this Canadian power play. McKenna up to Catton for Jagr. That pass in behind him. And Jesse Nurmi sends it back down the ice. Schaefer back for it. 40 seconds to go in the Canadian power play. McKenna flips it across to Catton for Jagr. Jagr chips that in deep as Catton goes after it. Drop that back. Here's Catton. Back for Schaefer. Across he goes to McKenna. Schaefer's pass bounces right back to him. Goes down to McKenna. Gonna feed that back in front. It bounces back to Schaefer. Across for Jagr. Back across to McKenna. Sends it back in front. That pass was blocked by Kangas. McKenna battles for it. Here's Catton with it. Final seconds now on the power play. Pay back to Jagr. In shoots and the glove saved. It back in with Bonk driving. Oliver Bonk backhands that wide to the goal. Yeminen lost the puck. Brought in by Cowan. Cowan centers and Ritchie with a chance. Tipped it right on goal. Stopped there by Rimpinen. Loose at the side of the goal is Ritchie. Ritchie with time shoots. Rimpinen the save. Bonk back with it. Tired Finns on the ice. Here's McKenna. Loose in front. But stopped it.
Flair for the dramatic. Gavin McKenna, you're exactly right. Finland caught out there late, tired in the shift. Seam pass from Schaefer over to McKenna. He tries it once. He's not going to miss twice. As too many Finnish defenders try to play goal on Rimpinen. Drag, pull upstairs. Gavin McKenna opens the tournament scoring for Canada. And the mystery is revealed.
Life is life.
He started the pre-competition games as the 13th forward, has played himself onto the second line, and is going to play himself higher than that the way he keeps going. Scored a couple goals in the 3rd pre-comp game against Czechia, and opens the scoring here from Matthew Schaefer, I might add, as youth has served to open the score.
Up ahead to Cowan with Ritchie busting in. Cowan Winds in, holds and shoots. Put that high and wide. McKenna back out there for Canada. Has to tag back up to get onside. Yeminen. Lines through center ice. Gains the Canadian line. Long shot was blocked there by Bump. Moves wide by Yeminen. And back out to center ice goes Arttu Tukala. He plays his junior hockey in Sweden. Now Schaefer had to skip in behind him. Thomas Urunen picks up the puck in the corner. His centering pass is broken up by Berkeley Cat. Schaefer takes a hard bump and makes the play for McGrath. And now McKenna moves out ahead. In comes McKenna. McKenna swings by. Loose in the corner with it. McKenna feeds it back across. And here is Pinelli. Plays it back in deep for Gibson. They jam away at the side of the goal. McKenna tried to get for Canada. Luchenko works it back in. Just missed that pass for Gauthier. And Dickinson keeps it alive. Racing to it is McKenna. Knocked down by Dickinson. Now kept alive by Urunen. And Canada's in the middle of a change. Here's Sam Dickinson with it. The Toronto native leaves it back for Price. Crisp lead pass ahead for Pinelli. Rink wide he goes. McKenna sends it back in front. That pass is broken up. Good stick there by Tukala at the line. Helped by Schaefer. Schaefer plays it back in. Tukala reaching for it. But McKenna gets there first. Picked out by Pinelli. Trying to find McKenna with it. And brought back by Emil Hemming. Tukala swings back with Canada changing. Slides out ahead to Kempalainen. That's broken up at center ice by Pinelli. And to McKenna. In comes McKenna. Slides in, trying to feed that back in front. It's broken up. And brought back by Hemming.
One out there right away.
Here's Schaefer back with it. Minutes ago in the Canadian power play. Schaefer drops it back to McKenna. Who scored Canada's first goal in this game. Martone chips it ahead and finds McKenna. Jagger slides it across to Schaefer. For McKenna shoots. Kicked out by Rimpinen. Loose puck in front. Schaefer a drive that goes wide. Yeminen along the boards. That's picked off by Cat. He finds McKenna. McKenna drops it back to Schaefer. Lots of traffic in front. And the long shot power play. Now it's Jagger. Winning the face-off back to Schaefer. Schaefer swings it down to Jagger. Across to McKenna with a shot. Knocked away by Rimpinen. Now McKenna trying to dig that free. Catton banks it back for Schaefer. Across he goes to Jagger with a shot. He just missed. And now Schaefer able to hold the line. Back on the boards, finally kicked out by Yeminen. Schaefer fires it down. Now picked up by Catton. Berkeley Catton slides it back to McKenna. McKenna across to Schaefer, walks in, feeds it to the goal mouth, tipped wide by Martone. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Catton feeds it down to Martone. That discarded stick. McKenna though picks it free for Jagger. Back across for Schaefer. Schaefer to the goal mouth. Martone back in front. Catton, a point-blank chance. Stopped by Rimpinen. The best chance of this Canadian power play. OHL was an assistant coach when the tournament was held here in 09 under Pat Quinn. Who was a late replacement coach for Canada, named in September after Benoit Gros took a pro job late in August. And there'll be a New Year's Eve Canada-USA game in this tournament, just like there was back in 09. Now Cat feeds it back down to the finish zone. McKenna looking after it. Then picked out by Väisänen. Knocked down the line. Here's Cat. Has to retreat as Canada regroups, and now Catton back with it for McKenna. In comes McKenna. That pass knocked away. Yemi skates away from
Giving Oliver lots of support through some tough times.
Yeah.
Great perspective on hockey and life.
When he set his feet, pretty hard to bump him off the puck. Hultinen winds in, backhands it back in front. A good shot there by Uhrman, turned away by George. Point shot by Väisänen, steered away. And now Väisänen had the puck skip over his head and back down to Rippinen. Brought up by Tukala. And Price stepped up and just hacked that back down to the finish zone. McKenna comes in for it. The pass knocked away from him. And Price stepped in Uhrman, and as Dickinson goes back to pick it up. Sam Dickinson, traded by... The video of that shift will come in segments.
3-part series.
Uhrman moves it back in. Jokinen feeds it back, and that long point shot by Jokinen. Knocked away by George. Here's Jokinen again. Shoots. That was blocked by Bach. And Yemi swings it back. Price goes back. Now knocked down and picked up by Dickinson. Sam Dickinson. Across for Pinelli. Brought in by Cotton. Squirts down to the front of the goal. Pinelli almost got there. Now McKenna after it. Gavin McKenna drops it back. Held by Dickinson. Cued wide by Price. And now McKenna races to it again. Kumpalainen. Back across for Kangas. That's broken up by Dickinson. Ahead for Pinelli. He's got McKenna with him. Break wide pass to McKenna. Couldn't quite knock that down. McKenna sweeps it back to the point. Hard shot by Gibson was blocked in front. Kumpalainen back with it. Kumpalainen